Hey, what's up everybody? Landon with LMR.com. It's Dyno Day. The car we're dynoing today is Patrick Nichols' 2022 Mustang GT. For those of you that watch the channel, y'all may remember this car. This was the car that we featured in the Gen 3 versus Gen 4 comparison video. If you somehow missed that video, you want to go back and watch it, I'll leave a link for you down in the description. The way you see this car here, it's pretty much stock, with the exception of SVE Resonator Elite X pipe and then the gloss black SVE X500 wheels. This being a 2022 model year, Ford did lessen the horsepower and torque for the 2022 and 2023 model year Mustang GTs. They dropped it from 460 horsepower to 450 horsepower, and then they dropped the torque from 420 pound-feet of torque to 410 pound-feet of torque, and that's because of the goofy little carbon trap thingies in the airbox lid. So as far as some dyno technical data is concerned for the car, this is a 10R80 car, so we're gonna do a pull in 5th gear, and then we're also gonna do a pull in 7th gear. Technically 7th gear is 1-to-1, but for us to be able to utilize the entire RPM range, we're gonna drop it down to 5th gear. It's got a 2-piece drive shaft, 315 rear gear, and then again, that's the SVE X500 wheel, 19x11 with a 325/30/19 tire. Patrick has 93 octane fuel in the tank, and then I think that's it. So we'll make a quick trip around the car, make sure we're good to go, then we're gonna make a few hits. All right, people, let's go ahead and take a look at some results. We'll talk about 5th gear first, and then we'll pull up 7th gear. So, well, I gotta pull up the results first. All right, so taking a look at the results for the 5th gear pull. With the carbon trap, the car made 382.3 horsepower at 6,800 RPM and 364.4 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM. Again, we switched out the lid for one from a 2021 car that doesn't have the carbon traps. And then the car made 393.4 horsepower at 7,000 RPM, 367.6 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. So if you do some quick math, which I've already done the quick math off camera, peak gains with and without the carbon trap, 11.1 horsepower and then 3.2 pound-feet of torque. And there was also some better gains there in the curve up towards the 7,000 RPM range. And by default, when you're talking about restrictions, you usually don't see something like that until you get further in the RPM range, and that's where you start to see it open up there around the 4,800 RPM mark. So pretty impressive there to say that the carbon trap deal can, kind of rob that much horsepower from you. And I was kind of joking with the guys that this seems like the same filter that I have in my refrigerator at home. So yeah, kind of dorky, but we'll close those out and open up the 7th gear pull. So in 7th gear with the carbon traps, the car made 388.5 horsepower at 5,800 RPM and then 379 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. Without the carbon trap, made 402.6 horsepower at 5,900 RPM, 389.2 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. So again, some quick math here. In 7th gear, your peak differences, 14.1 horsepower and 10.2 pound-feet of torque. And then again, there were some a little bit better curve gains there past that 4,500 RPM mark. And the reason why in 7th gear, you're probably wondering why the run stopped at about 6,000 RPM. That's because the car hit the speed limiter of 150 miles per hour. If we were able to carry that all the way, the car probably could have made a little bit more power. So that's all we have for you today. Hope you all enjoyed that one. It's neat to see how much restriction you could see from from just a simple filter for emissions purposes. So we're gonna sign off for the day. As always, if you find value in what we do, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. And then until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do for all things S550 Mustang. Keep it right here with the real enthusiast, LMR.com.